Welcome to Unfiltered and Booked. What's up? What's up, gang? So, welcome to Unfiltered and Booked with Tish, y'all. Listen, today is a new day. You're here, and if you're here, that means you nosy. And if you nosy, that means you're my people. So welcome. Yo, all right, y'all. So listen, if you here, that means you nosy. That means you nosy, like I am. You either nosy, you healing, or you trying to figure out why everybody else is booked and you not. That's why you're here, right? Honestly, okay? So this is Unfiltered and Booked with Tish. This is a podcast where it talks about the shit that most people don't talk about, okay? This is a podcast where we talk about burnouts. This is a podcast where we talk about the shit that nobody wants to say as established. But we gonna say it. This is also Unfiltered and Booked where we just talk about whatever the hell is popping or going on these days. I'm your host, Tish. I'm your favorite braider, homegirl in your head, and a friend that's gonna tell you the truth, okay? Because if you're not telling the truth to your people, then welcome to Unfiltered and Booked. What's up? What's up, gang? So, welcome to Unfiltered and Booked with Tish, y'all. Listen, today is a new day. You're here, and if you're here, that means you nosy. And if you nosy, that means you're my people. So welcome. No, but seriously though, I hope that y'all can hear me better than y'all heard me last week. I'm trying here, okay? I'm trying. But today on Unfiltered and Booked, we have a few things to talk about. I am so excited to get started with you guys. So let's go. Let me grab a few things though, and then we're gonna get started. All right, y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up, gang? What's up, y'all? What is the deal? All right, y'all. So listen, if you here, that means you nosy. That means you nosy, like I am. You either nosy, you healing, or you trying to figure out why everybody else is booked and you not. That's why you're here, right? Honestly, okay? So this is Unfiltered and Booked with Tish. This is a podcast where it talks about the shit that most people don't talk about, okay? This is a podcast where we talk about burnouts. This is a podcast where we talk about the shit that nobody wants to say as established. But we gonna say it. This is also Unfiltered and Booked where we just talk about whatever the hell is popping or going on these days. I'm your host, Tish. I'm your favorite braider, homegirl in your head, and a friend that's gonna tell you the truth, okay? Because if you're not telling the truth to your people, then what are we doing? what are we doing if we're not telling the truth to our friends, right? Okay. So today on Unfiltered and Booked, we're gonna talk about the things that nobody wants to talk about, right? And you know those things is normally the rude clients, the clients that sit in your chair and you normally don't want to come back, or even whatever business you're doing, whether it's nails, whether you Instacart shopping, whether you working in a warehouse, whether you're a manager somewhere, whether you run your own business somewhere else. We gonna talk about it today. We not gonna fake, okay? We not gonna sugarcoat nothing today, because why we sugarcoating? This is what? It's unfiltered, right? Okay. So anyways, get comfortable, mind your business, and mind my business. So let's go, y'all. All right. So first question that I have today is, what is overrated in your industry? In your industry and what you are doing, what do you feel like is overrated? Do you feel like when you wake up in the morning and get ready to do your job, are you just over it? Do you want to do it anymore? Have your passions lost you? Like, what are we doing here, y'all? So let's talk about it. So I would say, I think what's overrated in at least the industry that I am in, which is like braiding, hair business, stuff like that. I think what's overrated in that is the ability to say no. I know that sounds crazy, but I think as stylists, we don't say no enough. We don't say no enough. And sometimes we gotta really start just saying no, y'all. Like, I know that you wanna, I know that you wanna be a part of things sometimes and you want to be booked and you wanna stay busy, but sometimes we have to say no. And I think that a lot of us just don't know when to say no, so that's kind of what holds us back. But saying no is overrated. Okay. Who gets praised for doing the bare minimum in your industry? I think I'm going to pass on that question because I'm not a person to put other stylists down or whatever. If you're coming up and you're learning, we all have been there. So I think I'm going to skip on that question because I don't really have an answer for that. Who gets praised for doing the bare minimum? We're going to skip over that. What advice do you give to people that are actually trash? Okay. So, this question some people think that they are better at some of the things that they do than they think that they are. And I'm saying that to say, so I'm gonna use myself as an example. So me, myself, and I know that there are certain things as a braider and a loctician that I am not good at. I know that there are things that I am not comfortable with doing just quite yet. I know that there are things that I'm still trying to perfect in my craft. However, there are things that I'm really good at in my craft that I feel like I could give advice for and about. But you can't give everybody advice. You can't give everybody advice. Not everybody takes your advice well. Not everybody wants to learn And if they do want to learn, not everybody wants to learn from you. So you have to keep in mind that when you're trying to give advice on something or to someone on something that you are maybe excelling in, but they are struggling in, but you try to give them advice about it, and don't let that person, some people are open and willing to accept advice. However, not everyone is. So with that being said, my advice to those who are trash is I just don't give it anymore. I don't give my advice anymore. And that kind of goes in friendship and in life and in everything. Like, sometimes you really just can't give your advice. Sometimes you really just cannot put your 2 cents in, because as soon as you put your 2 cents in, they automatically go to assuming that you think that you're better than them. That's not it. Sometimes you really just be wanting to help somebody out, right? But you can't really help them out because they're not wanting and willing to listen to that advice, right? So I think what I do is, like I said, I just don't give advice. I'm not going to give advice to somebody who is not open and willing to take that advice I'm giving. Point blank, period. It just ain't happening. Next question. So the next question, I kind of like this question because there is a trend that I fucking hated for a while, and I did it for a while, and I was low-key kind of happy that it kind of faded. So what is one trend that you secretly hate? A trend that I secretly hate or hated was the butterfly knotless. They're cute. They're cute. Cute braids, okay? But y'all don't understand the time consuming that it takes. You gotta loop your finger through to make certain angles and certain things, and listen, to make that butterfly effect. I was cold at it, okay? I was cold at it. But baby, I'm so glad that trend is over. And thank y'all for stop looking at it, because I was over it, okay? So let me go to, actually, we're gonna get into some spicy questions. What is a hard truth about your industry that nobody likes to admit? A hard truth about the industry that I am in that nobody likes to admit is the pricing. The hard truth about pricing. The hard truth is the pricing, sometimes y'all be ridiculous. Like, I'ma just be real. Y'all be a little ridiculous sometimes with y'all pricing. As a braider, when I'm looking to go get my braids done, I'm either looking for someone who does equal or better services than me. And so when I feel like I'm looking for those people, I start to look at y'all pricing. And for me personally, I'm not gonna pay something that I don't charge myself. Like, if I charge $150, I'm just throwing something out there. If I charge $150 for medium knotless and I'm going to get my braids done, I personally don't want to pay over that amount for the service if that's what I charge. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like at that point I might as well just do it myself, right? I'm not the only person that feel that way. Like, I feel like if you're gonna charge me what I charge, that's cool. But if you're gonna charge me over what I would charge, unless you, I mean, like, bomb, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So I think the hard truth about the industry that nobody likes to admit is that the pricing be shitty. Let's remember we are in Kansas City, okay? This is not Dallas. This is not, and honestly, you're gonna find some girlies in Dallas who cold and charge cheaper than Kansas City prices. But I think that some of y'all forget that we in Kansas City. Hey, and I'm not knocking nobody's hustle. I'm not knocking nobody's nothing. But me personally, like I said, I feel like if the price is higher than what I charge people, I'm not doing it. I ain't doing it. So the next question is, what is the biggest lie you believed about success when you first started? I think the biggest lie that I learned about success was that it was gonna be easy. I don't know who said it. I have no idea who said it was gonna be easy, but it ain't easy, and it ain't been easy. There are definitely some ups when you have, when you're stable in what you're doing and you have figured out your craft. There is definitely some ups. However, there is definitely some downs to it as well. So I feel like that question is the easy. Like, nobody told me that it was gonna be easy, but that man upstairs. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like the biggest lie is that it's gonna be easy. Success is not easy. You gotta work for it. You got to get up off your ass. You got to stop doing the things that you was doing, and you got to literally go for it. And you know what the thing about success also is? Sometimes we don't go after things because we feel like we're underqualified or we're not qualified. Baby, I'm gonna tell you one thing, go for it. Do it. Go do it. Go do it. Even if you think you can't do it, go try. I bet you might succeed. I bet you might succeed. Go try it. Go try. Okay? What is something that I hate about my job but I never say out loud? Y'all. Okay, picking up where we left off. Sorry, y'all. I had to think about that. What's something you hate about your job but you never say out loud? I'm gonna light my blunt on that one, and we're gonna do some healing with this one. Y'all, something you hate about your job but you never say out loud. I have so many for this, it's not even funny. Like, that's why I'm sitting here like, where do I begin? So, the first thing that I would say that I hate about my job, that I never say out loud, is rude clients. Clients who don't understand your policies, how you run your business, and what you do with your business. I don't like that. I don't like those clients who don't read the terms, who just literally just agree to stuff without reading. I don't like the people who don't or have a problem with paying deposits, because we are in 2026 now, okay? In 2025, y'all was fucking up. In 2025, y'all was shading us. In 2025, y'all was booking and then never showing up. In 2025, y'all was booking, getting y'all hair done, and then canceling the fucking card so we couldn't get our payment. So in 2026, yeah, bitch, you gonna pay a deposit. I said it. Yeah, you're gonna pay a deposit. And if you don't want to pay a deposit, go somewhere where a deposit is not required. This is what I hate about my job that I don't talk about. Y'all forget that there are so many braiders, locticians, stylists, nail techs, everything in the world. And do what you need to do with. Like, you don't have to choose me every time. I tell people that all the time. Like, choose who you feel like you're comfortable with. This is just following up with the question. Things that we don't say out loud. We don't say a lot of things out loud, but that is definitely one of the things that we definitely do not say out loud enough. There is multiple choices. You do not have to choose me. You don't. You don't have to choose me. You don't have to choose me. Do I want you to? Yes, I want you to, but you don't have to. You don't have to. Okay. Have you ever outgrown someone who helped you get started, and how did you handle that? So, this is a really good question. And I wanted to ask this question because it's actually kind of important to me. I would not say that I outgrew the person, and I would not say that that person helped me get started. However, there was a shop that I was working in at one point in time. Shout out to Design Hair Studios. Shout out to UD as well. But you know, we we just it happened. Like, things happened. Things transpired in the situation that, looking back on, I wish that I could have maybe possibly done things differently, but at the same time, I kind of felt like I was not in the wrong. She felt like she was not in the wrong. So we just kind of like left it at that. However, I will say working in her shop taught me a lot. Working around her taught me a lot. It introduced me to some amazing people. True. I have a really good friend, True, who works in her shop currently, and they're really good friends as well. But I would say, I can't speak badly on anyone who has ever helped me progress in my life at all whatsoever. And I never will. I will never speak down, talk down on anyone who helped me in any way pave the way to my life and what I'm doing in my life. And I think that a lot of people forget that. A lot of people forget where they came from, where they started from, who helped them out, and how they got there. I'm not one of those people. So I will say, I apologize for whatever she may have felt in that situation. However, she may felt in that situation, I do apologize for that. Um, I will say she was great. She was a wonderful person. I still believe that she is a wonderful person. She is cold. Check her out, y'all. Um, have you ever outgrown someone who helped you get started, and how you handled that? I just answered that question. Anyways, what's the pettiest reason you've ever stopped supporting someone? The pettiest reason I have ever stopped supporting someone, I would say, I don't know, y'all. I don't think I have any petty reasons why I stopped supporting people. I don't do stuff like that. We just gonna skip over that question because I'm not petty enough to stop supporting you. I don't care how, you know what? I just thought of something. The pettiest reason I stopped supporting somebody was because their music was fucking trash. And they didn't want to hear that shit. But it had to be said. So I said it, and they didn't like that shit. And so I stopped fucking with them. That's the pettiest reason that I have stopped fucking with somebody, because their music was motherfucking garbage. Forgive me. Okay. Y'all, we're gonna get into some closing questions, y'all, tonight. I know it seems like it was super fast. I edited out a lot of the stuff, y'all, because I feel like it was just unnecessary. So we're gonna go into some of the closing questions that I have. So one of those questions is, what would I tell the version of you that almost quit? So basically, what would you tell the version of you that almost quit is the question. Um, What would I tell the version of me that almost quit? The same thing I told myself when I was about to quit. Don't fucking give up. Don't ever give up. Especially if you know that you are good at your craft, don't give that shit up for nobody, y'all. Keep pushing, keep going, no matter how many people support you, no matter how many people don't support you. Keep going. Keep focusing on that. Keep doing what you want to do. Y'all hear that? Keep doing what you want to do in your life, okay? Because ain't nobody gonna support you in the end but who? You. And you know what I also learned? I learned that your biggest supporters are going to be the people that are outside looking in that don't even fucking know you. Those are going to be your biggest supporters. So don't quit. Don't give up. Keep going. Keep pushing. That's what I would tell myself. What am I currently unlearning? Y'all. Y'all. That's a good question because I'm unlearning a lot right now. We're going to get into that next episode because honestly, there's so much that I'm unlearning. That's a whole nother episode. It really is. I'm unlearning to be so nice. I know that sounds crazy, but when you are nice, you get pushed the fuck over. So stop being nice sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta be like, nah, bitch, I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. Like, I don't want to do it. Um, what does unfiltered and booked mean to me right now? Unfiltered and booked means to me right now that I am unapologetically being me. I'm stepping into my lane. I'm doing what I want to do on my time, on my efforts, on my dime. Okay? That's what unfiltered and book means to me. Unfiltered and book means to me everything because I feel like this can go so far, y'all. When I start getting like the special guest in, it's gonna pop. I know like the first two episodes is probably boring, and I apologize if it's boring. Also, if it's boring, you're boring. I'm just playing, y'all. But unfiltered and booked to me means that I'm just unapologetically being myself while keeping my chair full, while keeping my pockets full. Y'all, 2025, the end of 2025 was rough for me. I'm not going to front. It was very rough for me. But going into 2026, I was like, you know what? I want more. I deserve more. I'm getting more. So in 2026, I'm doing more. So that's what unfiltered and booked means to me right now. Y'all, what's the price for you? What's the price you pay for being successful that nobody prepares you for? The price you pay for being successful, yo, you learn who your true friends are starting a business. I will say that you are going to learn who your true friends are when you start a business because, baby, they will support everybody around you but you. And you'll start to notice that real quick. You're going to start to notice it. You're going to start to pick up on it and you're going to be like, oh, that's what we doing. Okay, that's what we're doing. But, don't let nobody stop you from your hustle, your grind, your shine, any of that. Fuck them. That's how I feel. I feel fuck them. Ain't no price. Ain't the only price that's being paid is them clients that's booking in your chair, baby. That's it. That's it. I'm gonna answer one last question and then we gonna end this and I'm gonna let y'all out because next week's episode is a special guest and I'm excited for that, y'all. What does soft life actually mean to you? Not Instagram. For me, soft life is just enjoying your life, waking up every day, knowing you don't have no problems, no drama. You're not chasing nobody nappy headed ass son. You're not worried about no bald head ass bitch. None of that. Like soft life is you wake up every morning, you say your prayer, you start your day right, you have an amazing day, an amazing night. Whatever pushes you or makes you angry, you push it off to the side. You don't let it get to you. You move on gracefully in everything that you do.
That's what being soft life is for me. And I want to be in my soft life era, y'all. I'm trying to be in my girly era, y'all, in 2026. I'm trying to be in my girly era, okay? I'm a girl's girl, and I want my girls to be girls, okay? It's time we all be girls. Let's stop competing with each other and come together. Do you know how much success you will have if you just come together with your op sometimes? I'm just saying. And it ain't even gotta be a op. I'm not saying op in a way like y'all beefing, y'all funking. Competition. Somebody that you feel is competition. That person can teach you things you don't necessarily know. So I say soft life for me is being a girl's girl. Loving on you, being in your mood, being in your zone, being in your comfortability. Is that a word? Being in your comfort zone. Soft girl life. That's what I feel like soft girl life is, right? So, y'all, we didn't talk about much today, but we did talk about some things. Um, I feel like moving on, we're gonna have some really good episodes, y'all. I'm gonna have some hot questions from my guests, y'all. I'm excited for that. Um, I'm excited to kind of just see where this is gonna go. We talk about things and don't talk about things so much in life, and I feel like sometimes it should be said. Some things are said. The start of this podcast, I was like, I'm gonna just be me, unapologetically. I'm just gonna be me. I'm not gonna care what anyone thinks of me, says of me, does of me. I'm just gonna do me. And that's what Unfiltered and Booked is. We want to say things as professionals, but we can't say them. We can't say them out loud, which is one of my things. What are some things that you want to say out loud that you can't? As a stylist, you can't say a lot of things out loud. And then when you do have an opinion about things, guess where that goes? You have an opinion about something and you put it on social media and somebody don't like it or two people don't like it, it's World War 10. Then you the bad guy. Then you the bad guy. Why is that? Why can't I have an opinion? Why can't I have an opinion like everybody else? Why my opinion got to be the opinion that's blown out into proportion and blown across social media? Why is that? That's the stuff we should be asking ourselves on Unfiltered and Booked with Tish, y'all. So, ending credits, y'all. Listen, do you? That's my thing. Do you. Be you. Be true to you. Don't let nobody take you out your element ever in life. If you feel like you're in a point in your life where you're not progressing, do something else. Change it. Change the scenery. Even if you got to change the people around you, but sometimes that is the thing. Sometimes that is the case. You have to change the people around you. But don't change genuine people. That's what I would say. Don't change genuine people, y'all, in your lives, okay? I thank y'all for joining in with me today. Listen, we're going to talk about some things in the future, and I'm really excited about it. These first two episodes was kind of just an introduction to me, an introduction to what I do, what I'm going to be here for. So these next couple episodes, I can't wait for y'all to tune in. Also, y'all, the name of this show was Things That Stylists Don't Say, or the things that we don't talk about as stylists. That was the name of this. So I want to know, what don't you talk about as a braider, stylist, loctician, nail tech, whatever you're doing in your business? Drop below. Drop some answers down low on what you do, y'all. Because I want to hear it. I need feedback. I want y'all feedback. And I'm excited for you, Sal. I'm excited for Unfiltered and Booked with Tish. So I hope y'all tune in next with me, because I have a special guest next week tuning in. It's going to be dope. And if y'all think this is not entertaining, wait till y'all see who my special guest gonna be next week. Bye.